the locals, they refer to the glacier and the ice and the water that comes off of it, they refer to it as the Fountain of Youth. And it's true, I know it is, because I am in fact 87, and it's because I licked the ice. So I'm sorry, you missed your chance. You should have licked the ice. Now, but think about it. Those of you who held that ice in your hands, you were holding a 200-year-old piece of ice. It takes 200 years for that ice to make its way down from the ice field as part of the glacier, and then it calves off into the lake, and then the icebergs kind of float over to the shore, and they snack the ice from there. So it takes 200 years to finally end up in your hand. That's just kind of cool if you think about it. Now, I realize that you could not get to the glacier from there, it's just not possible, but on the other side of the lake, there's a trail you can take. It takes about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to hike up to the glacier, but once you get to the glacier, you can in fact get on top of it, walk around, or once you get to the glacier, you can go underneath and inside the glacier. Because the glacier, as it's moving along, it is constantly melting water, and this melting water creates caverns and caves underneath and inside the glacier. These ice caves, like I said, they're formed by the melting water, so they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger until they finally collapse in on themselves, and then new ones are formed. And so each summer, these ice caves are different. My first summer up here, they were spectacular. They were beautiful. I remember walking into this ice cave. It was probably 30 feet wide, about 20 feet high, and it went back about 200 feet into the glacier, and it was blue. You may have noticed that blue tint to the glacier. Well, if you walk underneath it, you are completely surrounded by blue ice. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Now, you're probably all thinking, well, thanks a lot, Whit, for telling us about these ice caves, and we don't get to see them. But I tell you about the ice caves as incentive to get you to come back up to Juneau. One day is not enough. You gotta come back, spend a week or two here, and just go explore everywhere, and definitely the ice caves. With that in mind, how many people think they would ever come back to Juneau? How many people think they'd come back here for longer than a day? Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, there goes your chance. I was gonna say, if you decide to come back, look me up. My name is Whitney Shader. My phone number is 407-79667. If you fly in, I totally would have picked you up from the airport, but hey, guess what? No one's flying in, so never mind. God, you guys are terrible. Now, speaking of the airport that none of you are going to be flying into, the airport is located off to the right. You're not going to really see the airport, but you're going to see the runway for the airport, and you're going to see it as we come around the curve in the road. Take a look off to the right, and you'll see this big open area. That is the runway for the airport. This airport has 2 runways. It's got the concrete one that you're going to see, and then it has a water runway for any float planes or seaplanes that come into town. Now, this airport that we're passing, it is the Juneau International Airport, and the only reason why it is an international airport is because it has 1 weekly flight to Whitehorse, Canada, which thus makes it international. So that's the runway off to the right. The airline that flies out of here primarily is Alaska Airlines. How many of you have ever seen an Alaska airline plane before? Okay, good. So typically those planes are white with blue lettering that says Alaska on it. And then on the tail end of the plane is the logo, and the logo is the face of an Eskimo. That is what the majority of the planes look like, except for a few. And one day, my first summer up here, as I was driving by the airport, I saw this plane land, and it had a completely different paint job on it. It was still an Alaska airline plane, so I asked a buddy of mine, I'm like, hey dude, why did they paint that one plane so differently? And he told me a story about these 2 pilots back in the 80s that were flying a Boeing 737 out of the airport. As they were getting ready to take off, these 2 pilots noticed an eagle flying in the sky, squirrels for me. I have to point them out every time I see them, so apologies. Anyway, we have passed the airport. We're now driving past the Mendenhall wetlands, past the Gastineau Channel. I do want everyone to take a look off to the right. I should have pointed it out. Another bald eagle straight ahead. I should have pointed out when we were leaving.
Oh, yeah, look at it. Yeah, beautiful. Look at the eagle there.
If you're interested in the eagles, keep your eyes looking off to the right.